Hey, Kaka back again. And today we can talk about pay to win. Well, mostly about Helldivers to pay to win. Because I've seen articles and I've seen people in those articles comment like, yes, it's pay to win. And to get into it, first I will start with how I see pay to win. For me, pay to win is basically a system where you cannot progress towards a goal or through a goal unless you pay the certain amount of money it's requesting you to pay. So let's take a mobile game example. Let's say you're playing a mobile game like Diablo, let's say, and there's a dungeon that requires a 60,000 power level. But the only way to reach that 60,000 power level is if you buy a VIP and you get the extra equipment flag that is only obtainable through that VIP, and that's what I would consider pay to win, because you literally have to pay in order to achieve your certain goal. I'm not talking about multiplayer pay to win as in arena tops or anything like that. Those are always littered with whales that will not have no issue, then spend money on it and be fine with it. And so always the top arenas are always littered with pay to win players. I'm talking about base progression. So that's how I define a pay to win. Base progression is if I'm limited unless I spend money. I have no issue if game requires a lot of time, as long as there is no paywall. Of course, there is a point where I'm not just gonna grind that long ass time because it's way too long and they incentivize you to spend money on it, but that's game design in itself, and it's still theoretically, in my opinion, pay to win sort of, but you have the option to just be patient and go through it if you have. So it's also sort of less of pay to win. It's a really like a slippery slope over there between what you classify as pay to win and what you're not. And so let's talk about how that was pay to win. It's not pay to win at all. From my perspective, in my opinion, it's not pay to win. Sure, there are war bonds you can unlock. Keyword unlock. You still need the medals in the game that you earn for doing normal runs, and then use those certain medals to unlock the gear that are in those war bonds. You just buy the access to the potential of unlocking the gear. It also doesn't disappear over time, so if there's another war bond releasing, then the other ones stay. So you can get your rewards at any time, at any point. You're not incentivized to constantly spend your time on the game in order to grind it out, which is a very friendly system instead of new battle pass, which in this case would be a war bond, and then you have to now do it before the war bond changes and so on, which in this case in Helldivers there isn't. New war bond comes, the old ones stay. You can just grab the rewards whenever. Now people said that you have to have the weapons in the new war bonds in order to do the content, which I disagree with. Those few people that did say so. The fact is, you can do with the normal war bond, the free one that is available there without any super credits, you can do all of the content with it with no issues. Like, obviously it's not going to be 100% success rate. Nothing is in that game 100% success rate. But you can do all of Helldive difficulty on normal gear you get from war bond. That's free, that 8 tiers war bond. And another thing about it is that in Helldivers you can earn super credits while you're doing missions. So the way I usually do, because I'm feeling lazy in doing harder difficulties solo, because some of my friends are not available to play harder difficulties, and I don't exactly want to join a random. Like I said in earlier videos, I don't want to be in a lobby with a hacker and then having all my samples maxed out. Is not exactly what I want, so I avoid playing with random people as much as possible. And with that, I usually play solo, unless on weekends I play with my friends. So now that got off the topic a little bit, but basically, the way I do solo stuff, I put it on easy. There's no worry, no nothing. You can do your main mission. I specifically like the side quest that reveals all the points of interest, and then I just go to all those points of interest. Of course, I equip the light armor for the extra speed, and I easily get the super credits or a couple of extra medals along the way. There are faster ways of doing it, obviously. I'm pretty sure if you do harder difficulties, you gain more of currency in exchange for finding those points of interest, but I just, like I said, it's on easy. It's very simple. It might get boring, but then again, you can switch it up to a harder difficulty, or just play with random people, or if you have friends, play with friends. And explore the map. If you have the side objective that reveals the points of interest, then do that one and then go to point of interest. Point being is it's very easy to acquire the 1000 super credits in order to get the war bonds. Like I didn't get the first war bond because I didn't spend the money for the super credits, but by the time Cutting Edge war bond released, I had enough super credits for both ones. So now I'm just maxing out Cutting Edge, and then I'm gonna get the first one, which I haven't spent any more money on it than the initial buying price, the $40, or in my case 40 euros. And honestly, I don't see a way that the game is pay to win at all. It's more or less a preference on you, what type of weapons you prefer to use, and honestly, there is the option of just taking a few hours and you'll get the super credits, provided you do not spend the super credits in the store that refreshes daily, and you can buy armor and stuff like that there, which then it's kind of your decision to waste those super credits instead of getting a war bond, but that's a player choice in itself. And in general, the way they monetize the game, it's not that greedy as well. Most of the items you can buy in with the super credits in that daily refresh store are like roughly $2 or so, $2-3, something like that. And in my opinion, that's a very friendly thing. And the fact that you can still earn the currency in the game with no hundreds of hour grinds on it is something else. It's a live service game, so obviously it's gonna require funding in order to continue creating content for the player base. So they somehow have to make the money. So super credits with the war bonds and the daily refresh store is what people can engage with and support the developers if they want. But there's the thing, if you want. Compared to some other games, it's not about an if, it's about you have to if you want to get it. In this one, it's an if you want to support. It's your choice to invest money more in the game than you already did, but it's completely not necessary. You can buy the base game and you can get the currency in the game, and you can not spend a dime afterwards. It's that simple. It just takes you a couple of mission runs in order to get the set currency. You don't have to pay for it at all. Which is why I find so ridiculous that people are talking about it being pay to win when clearly you can do all the content in the game with the base war bond. Which defeats the purpose, in my opinion, about being pay to win. It's more or less pay to unlock the new war bonds, but not pay to win. It's not exactly that, but I get it. We've hated microtransactions for a long time, and I mean, with how game developers have been doing them, like the big giant corporations, I can see why people would think that it's a battle pass, it's immediately pay to win. Now, it's not in this case, but there's very few cases that's not the case, so a lot of people will probably just bash on it just because there's a battle pass, so now I'm gonna hate on the game, without even understanding how the battle pass works, which is unfortunate, but that's how people work, and that's how it's gonna be. On the other hand, what I don't support is the recently released Dragon's Dogma. Like, I had a choice between Rise of Ronin or Dragon's Dogma, which I was swaying over to Dragon's Dogma at first, right? And but then I noticed, and the only reason I noticed was because on PS Plus store, it says in-game purchase is optional. That's the only reason I even knew there might be any in-game purchases, like microtransactions in Dragon's Dogma. So I went with Rise of Ronin, and I've got to say, it's a nice game. I'm very satisfied with it right now. And I just don't agree with it in a sense that if you pay the full price, the 75 bucks or the 80 bucks, whatever it is, the asking price of the game, if it's not already lowered in a sense that it was supposed to cost the 70 bucks per purchase, but it costs 50 bucks, so now we have to put microtransactions in it in order to get a difference in the pricing. That would be something different, but they price it at the 75 buck range, and they still put in a bunch of microtransactions. I will include a screenshot somewhere around here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But like in general, it's like my apologies. In general, it's like you play the full price of the game, and then it's like you still have to pay microtransactions. Of course, people are gonna say it's optional. My point is, it's a single-player game. It shouldn't be there to begin with. It's the same with Assassin's Creed from Ubisoft. Time savers. It all starts here. Right now, it's like, yeah, you don't have to engage, until you will have to engage in it. Same way as it started back then. Oh, for a skin it's like $2. What's the point of that? It's all fine, and nowadays it's $60 fucking horses. It all starts here unless people start pushing back. Which, sadly enough, there's more stupid people out there than there is people that think about this shit. Until next time, I don't know, Dragon's Dogma 3, you'll have to buy every time a goddamn key for an equipment priest drop, right? It's gonna be a chest. And to open the chest you gotta have a key, and the key will cost $3 to open. It all starts with something small. Until they get away, and then you get away more and more and more until it's to the point where it's so greedy that you might as well not play the game. But that's about it for today's video, in all honesty. I'll see you guys next time.